There we go. Okay, sorry, one more time. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let me make sure I'm on the right microphone. Okay, MV7. That's it. That's it. I hope I sound okay. If not, let me know. Yes, happy Easter, Dansby. It's already Easter, isn't it? For some y'all, it's already Easter. Okay, so Lydia Washington was here first. Very cool. Thank you very much. And Black Queen is here. Thank you. Okay, now Black Queen, there's only one comment before yours, and it's Hey Vinny Blair. So, are you having a magic elixir at this hour? Who or what were you laughing at? But that's okay. If there's nobody there but you, that's okay. And Love Wins Movement, great video. It's in the community tab if you guys haven't seen it, but it's dedicated to one of our faves, and it has to do with the what do you call it? The American Riviera Orchard. Hello, Carlene Beckford. Thank you for being here. And a host of friends and others. I won't spend a lot of time. And you won't believe it. I already got my slides ready. Well, wonders never cease, right? Well, wonders never cease. I didn't know what to call today's, so I went for the low hanging fruit and I just said weekly roundup, Harry and Meghan news. Very original, right? MR, thank you so much for the Cash App. Thank you very much. And also earlier today, someone joined the Patreon, which I have been meaning to close that thing down. So if you just recently joined Patreon, I did leave a detailed message regarding possibly moving over to the YouTube membership, only because I don't do anything with the Patreon. And it's very confusing because when they went on the Patreon, they saw that the last thing I posted on Patreon was from 2021, which was shortly after I started the Patreon. But for me, it is a bit much to manage with a daily upload. Trying to maintain the Patreon is like having another channel. So it's just not working out for me. So I chose to abstain from using it. But if you have a membership over there, do consider moving your membership over to the YouTube. And that way I can see how long you've been a member, and you'd have access to all those fun stickers that you see in the comments. Not the live chat, but the actual comments. They have some fun stickers that are available. So do consider that. But if you're okay with the Patreon for now, I don't know when I'm going to close it down, but I will eventually when I get around to it. But either way, I do thank you all for your continued support of Royal Sussex. Oh, that sounded butch. Okay. And all right, we're good. We're good. So happy Easter, you guys. Good Friday was yesterday, and now it's Easter. And well, let's see, there was the Ash Wednesday and all those other rites of passage, religious traditions. That is what makes family fun, is when you have those traditions. Meaningful, very meaningful. Okay, very cool. Janice Goodrich. I don't know where the Easter Bunny comes from, but it's fun. As long as the kids have something, I think is fun. Just like some people don't like to celebrate Halloween, but I don't know what is so awful about a kid wanting to be a ninja turtle, you know? It's fun to dress up and be someone else. Ask Edward. Right? Just ask Edward. It's fun to dress up and be someone else. Okay. Yes, it's a very Catholic tradition. Absolutely. One of the great joys of my life was going to the Vatican. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. It was so majestic. And I still recall, like, there's so many domes and spires all over Rome. You don't know exactly where it is in the skyline because, there's that optical illusion of how close you are. And is that really big enough to be the throne of St. Peter? Right. Well, um, anyway, you finally, you cross that one bridge. Is it the Tigris River? And you take a look, and you see, like, there's this big dome down this one particular corridor, and you see all the people are moving in that direction. And as you get closer to it, people are becoming increasingly excited, and they're moving faster and faster. And it's like, yes, this is it, just like I've always seen on television. Um, really, really a meaningful experience. So if you haven't done that and you've always wanted to, don't worry about the language. This is the smartphone era. There's no such thing as barriers when it comes to travel. You can navigate. If you could ride the bus in your hometown, you could ride a bus in Rome. If you can, I think I used my last time there. Um, it was 2018. Well, my first and last time there, it was 2018. And I used my iPhone to pay for everything. Even the littlest shop, I used my iPhone to pay for everything. And so if you're worried about, like, attentionist, pickpockets, attentionist, pickpockets. If you're worried about the pickpockets, don't. Just keep all of your stuff in a secret, undisclosed location, like a money belt or something like that, and keep just a few coins or, you know, bills in your front pocket. And the rest of it, just use your phone. Of course, you got to keep your phone safe, but yeah, you could use your phone. You don't even have to pull out a wallet or anything like that. So I prefer using, like, that little hook on the back of the phone case to put my finger through it. Um, and or you can get something like a lanyard type of phone case where you can keep your phone over your chest. But I would not keep my ID and passport and stuff like that. But out in the open, if you could put it in your jacket or whatever, fine. But just certain precautions you could take. Mostly when you travel around Europe, the crimes are not violent, but there are opportunists that will pick your pocket. Yeah, there's a hustle everywhere you go in the world, but usually those types of things are not violent, and they're done in very public spaces on average. So, but just don't be afraid. If you ever wanted to go, just do it. Buy the ticket and go. Don't hesitate. Just buy the ticket and go. I mean, it is the eternal city, but you may not always be able to travel. So, but a great experience. Okay, so I am anxious to see what's going to happen tomorrow. So this was I hope this is right. I believe this is the 2023 Easter procession from Windsor Castle to the St. George Chapel, which is, of course, where the Sussexes were married, which is where the Queen and Philip are in their vault, along with the Queen's parents, the ashes of Margaret, and a bunch of other royals. I forgot the exact number of royals that are interred, that is. But there you can see one of the towers. Is that the Great Tower? Or is that no? That's just one of the towers of the Windsor Castle. You can see that in the background. But it is all enclosed and walled in and everything. But it was a pretty cool place to visit. They have to walk past that gift shop to get to the chapel. I still remember where the gift shop was. But yeah, you just kind of walk downhill toward the chapel. Now, the one thing that gives me chills, I mean, just oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. What does that say? The Easter Bunny and his eggs is a pagan holiday worshiping the fertility god. It has nothing to do with Jesus, uh, who is real. Celebrate Jesus dying for us, but not the Easter. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, most of that stuff, like Halloween, is born out of a pagan ritualistic thing, right? So, um, all right. Well, I should have known it had some kind of background there. Let me see here. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, let me see here. Oh, Vanzola Adams, thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. But yeah, okay. So anyway, there is one particular outfit that just gives me the chills. And if you don't see it, take a look. Go from left to right and count 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to the fifth person, I know you may think that you have something in your eye, but there is this one hideous creature that is actually stomping toward the house of worship. There's this one hideous individual. I mean to tell you, that is just who does that? Who does that? Uh, you all know that Sophie Wessex is not one of my favorites. I mean, it's bad enough at a distance, but if you think it's an eyesore from here, yes, if you think it's an eyesore from here, yes, it looks like the country cottage kitchen curtain dress. Exactly. That is definitely a country cottage kitchen curtain dress. And if you think it's hideous from a distance, take a look at it close up. Take a look at that close up. You know, I was feeling kind of down because I was saying to myself, well, now that Kate has had her confessional, who am I going to drag? And then all of a sudden, I started smiling and I caught myself singing. And I was like, Sophie Wessex. good old, good old Sophie Wessex. She never lets me down. Oh, my eyes, my eyes, my eyes. Sophie Wessex with that you know, wouldn't it have been more humane to have just left that thing behind in the country cottage? I mean, what are they doing for privacy right now? If those curtains are not in a country cottage, what are they doing for their privacy? And then, of course, I also had the notion that maybe it wasn't a country cottage kitchen curtains. Maybe it's from the bathroom. Yes, maybe that is like for the shower. Maybe that is the shower, and hopefully the shower lining, and not actually the shower curtain. You know how they have the two curtains? One goes in the tub, and the other one goes outside. Um, I hope that that's the in the tub. I would hate to think that decent people might visit someone's home and encounter that horrible eyesore of a pattern. It is like an assault on the optical nerve. I mean, take a look at it. And then let me see, what was that comment someone made there? Let me see there. Uh, Someone said, "Oy vey, I wish they wouldn't make me the bee. But seriously, what is that? Striking dress. She got a good figure and access to a lot of fashion lines. Why their staff sabotaged them so much? Uh, okay, now I'm going to argue about that good figure. I don't know how good it is because there are times when she turns sideways. I promise you, she looks just like the skipper on Gilligan's Island. So, as for good figure, yeah, that's why they call it a figure because you can't really figure out what it is. I am so relieved, you all. I had gotten so nervous because I'm just like, who am I going to drag now? And a little voice in my ear was like, psst, psst, huh? Psst, what? Black boy, huh? Sophie Wessex. Oh, Sophie Wessex. So there you go. It's all so clear to me. Sophie Wessex never lets me down with her country cottage kitchen curtain dress. Um, but still, I want to argue about this figure thing. I still want to argue about this figure thing. Who in the world thinks that that's a great figure? To me, it's kind of dumpy, right? Although she tries, but it's kind of dumpy. It reminds me of Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie, right? That's the vibe I'm getting. I'm getting Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie. Let me see. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so bad. But listen, listen. Now, I promised you all Skipper in Gilligan's Island, right? Now, they said she has a great figure, but take a look at there. When she turns sideways, I see Skipper from Gilligan's Island. And if you turn sideways and I start seeing Skipper, oh man. So B Martin says, Baron, who told you to wear the damn Picasso to walk in your fired? All right. Thank you so much, B Martin. It is a bit of a Picasso, isn't it? I mean, you it's like a Picasso painting, but for the sleeves and the neck, you could hang it. I mean, you could wear it upside down or right side up, and you would not know which direction the pattern is supposed to go. So now sit right back and we hear a tale of the Duchess of Edinburgh. Oh man, you all, this is so bad. I mean, it is Easter tomorrow, and we should not be doing this right now. Although I don't know what else I would do if I didn't. Uh, Let me see. Islander Jen said the last time I seen a pattern like that was my grandma's moo moo. I know it's kind of like Mrs. Roper, right? It looked like somebody took a Mrs. Roper belt and put actually, I'm not her belt, a Mrs. Roper moo moo and put a belt on it. Thank you, Islander Jen. And let's see, Shirley P. Jamjoy says, did you notice her leg is cut off and stuck under? Oh, let me go back and take a look. Is it here? Oh, no. Oh, man. Thank you so much, though, Shirley P. Wait, where is that? Where is that one? Hold on a second. Where's that one where he, there we go, where Edwina is wearing the kilt. By the way, Sophie's on the left. Sophie's on the left. Now that one's not so bad. That pattern there is not so bad. I mean, it's got some bright, vibrant colors and everything, but this one right here, that pale blue, does not in it does not inspire much. It does not inspire much. It leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, that pale blue. Now, you guys, one of the reasons, I guess I should explain for those of you that are new, the reason why I have it in for Sophie is because Sophie had the capacity to give the side eye to the Duchess of Sussex. Now, as you can see right there, Sophie on the left, there is poor, bitter Sophie. Sophie, who almost never became a duchess. Charles made them wait and grovel to become Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. But Sophie, as you can see, in an unguarded moment, we can see how she looks sad and longing for a real position in that family. And you could catch her glancing at Kate, who is always going to be her better, while Sophie looks very sad in yet another dull outfit. But yeah, the mirror, you can see if it wasn't for that mirror, we wouldn't know what she was looking at. But she looks particularly sad that night. I wonder why. Oh, I know, because she was still the Countess of Wessex. She thought she was never going to be a duchess. And finally, when Charles felt like it, he was like, okay, you're a duchess. And if you look at the top photo on the right, this is her ignoring Harry and Meghan, right? Only for her to give Meghan the side eye outside the church. And then if you look at the very bottom photo, take a look at that one, still giving Meghan the side eye. I still don't know what that was about. But you know what? You shouldn't have let people catch you on camera. Meghan hasn't done anything to you. Not a thing. But you know what? It's always the people from outside of the family that is always trying to do the most. And I guess she thought that if she could grimace at Meghan enough, that that would ensure that she would get her Duchess title. But nope, she had to wait, what, over a year before Charles just finally was like, oh, yeah, about that title. And for this particular moment, I will never, ever forget that cow, ever. How dare you? How dare you? Meghan came to that family a millionaire. When Sophie came to that family, she was 1.7 million pounds in debt because she ran her company into the ground. She badmouthed the family and they forgave her. She is a horrible, horrible individual. Horrible. And I will never, ever, as long as I live, forgive her for that. I mean, take a look. Now when Edward finally stopped talking to Meghan, now she wants to look at if you saw the video, when Meghan looked up and saw her and caught her eye, she just kept looking at her. She didn't say hi. Meghan said hi to her, but she didn't say anything. She just sat there, stone face. Stone face. You ain't even supposed to be there. How dare you? You're not even supposed to be there. I couldn't believe it. I'm just like, what's wrong with this one? She act like she got an eye problem. Yep, she went there. And I promise you, I'm going to drag her until I'm hoarse. I'm going to drag her until I'm unable to speak. Every time I see her, get ready for the drag. You're not fit enough to give Meghan a side eye. Let's see. B. Martin says, Baron, the question is why she's strutting like she's the Ishport thing. I get you. She has this overblown sense of self importance. She does. She has this overblown sense of self importance. She really believes that she is the embodiment of the royal family. I mean, take a look at her, just strutting, got her arms flailed out real wide. You can't tell her nothing. Thank you, B. Martin. But yes, why is she strutting her stuff like she owns the joint? She barely stayed in the family. She had to beg the queen's forgiveness after she badmouthed the queen. And they have her on tape, you guys. They have her on tape bad mouthing the family. Just in case you don't know the story, she was allegedly selling access to the royal family. Yes, Sophie, the self important Sophie, was selling access allegedly to the royal family. And in the meantime, bad mouthing the royal family. And the place where she used to uh, manage, own, work, whatever, oh, that they used to party. It's like you would look around, you wouldn't be surprised to see Uncle Gary there. Yep, you would not be surprised to see Uncle Gary at the party. That's Sophie Wessex. Sophie, who's given a side eye to the Duchess of Sussex. Yeah, but wait, it gets better. This is the worst of the worst. At a period of mourning, as you can see, Kate is standing behind, even though she outranks Sophie, she's standing behind Sophie to make sure that she's not in the same frame as her more beautiful and better educated sister in law. So she stands over there like Willie Lump Lump. And look at Charlotte. How confusing for Charlotte. Why is Aunt Sophie glaring at Aunt Meghan that I love and adore so much? Why is she doing that? I still don't know. I still do not know. But I can't wait to see the getup that she wears tomorrow. I think she's going to wear something without a hideous pattern for sure. Because ever since, I mean, we're so far away from the queen dying that she's been a little more experimental fashion wise, which can always be a mistake for her. I mean, after all, she was experimenting that day that she went out there in that famous blue jumpsuit. That was an experiment. She went to Royal Ascot in a blue jumpsuit. So, yeah, like she had just came in by parachute. As a matter of fact, the jumpsuit was the parachute. Yeah, there she is. Old stone face Wessex. And it's not that she's in mourning, she's angry at Meghan. She's angry. And Richard Fitzsimmons, who for some reason has been her protector, he says, Sophie Wessex boosts royal with huge success in U.S. after Meghan and Harry's damage. Sophie is an exemplar of a hardworking member of the royal family with a relatively low profile. She does she does a great deal of good. Really, Richard? Really? Because if you had put her in a lineup and asked people to point out a member of the royal family, they wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't believe it. So, yeah, she went to New York and absolutely none of the local press was interested. So she brought her own photographer because no one else was interested. Yeah. Talk about making a big splash in New York. Barely made a ripple. Even the people at the places she visited thought she worked there. And then, of course, one of the reasons why she's so hostile is because she was forced to walk next to a very serenely beautiful woman like Meghan with so much poise and elegance. She does Pilates with so much poise and elegance, or is it yoga? Yoga. She does yoga. And of course, Meghan, who carries herself like a ballerina next to some old dumpy uh, lorry truck driving body Sophie Wessex. It was unfair to Sophie, to be honest with you. And you guys don't ask me where I got this from, but I have my sources. I was able to obtain the X-rays of both Sophie and our Duchess, and as you can see, um, there are certain parts of Sophie's anatomy that just doesn't seem very regal, let alone let alone female, but barely regal. You know what I'm saying? Not really regal. The bone structure is all wrong. The bone structure is that of a common laborer, not a royal princess. So, um, I suppose maybe that's one reason why the yes, Duchess Dumpy. I suppose that's one reason why Duchess Dumpy was so angry and triggered at the sight of Meghan. And they had to ride in the car together, you all. They rode in the car together. So it was too bad for Sophie because you know, one of the great beauties ever to have been a member of the royal family stuck in the car with that stony face Sophie Wessex. It wasn't an even match. It was not a fair fight, if you will. I mean, not that you know what I mean. It wasn't fair to Sophie. Yes, yes, thank you, VS. Actually, she's supposed to be behind Meghan because Meghan outranks her. At the time, Meghan, of course, the Duchess of Sussex, and of course, married to the son of the king at that point. And then there's Sophie, Sophie, the Countess of Wessex. She should have been walking behind Meghan. Yes, she should have. Thank you, VS. She should have been walking behind her better, but instead she just took that old truck driving body of hers, that truck stop waitress body, and just bolted and started walking ahead of her. And there's Meghan, beautiful, elegant. I'm telling you, I feel like I was watching the movie Mahogany. All I could think of was Diana Ross in Mahogany. So yeah, thank you, VS. And of course, the Queen, realizing that Sophie had it in for Meghan, let us be reminded that the Queen gave Sophie that black hat. I call it the what do you call it? The corgi poo hat. The Queen had one of the footmen go out and collect some specimens and wrap it in a bin liner and presented it to Sophie as a hat. And that was probably her punishment for saying some negative things about Meghan, thinking it was okay. And the Queen probably told her, listen, this is your punishment. Put that hat on and shut up. So there she is wearing that old doggy poo hat. It's what she deserves. And by the way, thank you to the squatty that one of the squatties put that together. I was going through the Twitter, man, in my own business. And next thing you know, I saw the doggy poo hat. I'm like, oh, that's rich. That is rich. Even without reading it, I understood exactly what it was. That is somebody's neighbor going out for a walk at about midnight, and they come back with some specimens. And anyway, it as you can see right here, Tessa Dunlap says that's because the paparazzi aren't interested in trailing Sophie of Wessex around. And she told the truth. She told the truth, and that's probably one of the reasons why she was so bitter, is because Meghan was getting all that attention, and Sophie, who's been in that family since 1999, like what, 19 years before Meghan, and she was still a countess. She was still a countess. And Meghan had already she was doing royal duty before she even married to the family. So maybe that's why she was so angry. But whatever it was, it just never made sense to me. Megan outranks you. She actually is supposed to curtsy to Megan. So, um, but you know what? Somebody had to say it.
Bitter. And somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
She's bitter, bitter, bitter. So there you go. But yeah, Sophie spotted leaving Kate Middleton's hairdressers with new look ahead of coronation. That's the new look, y'all. That's the new look. That's the new look. Same Sophie, new look. Okay. That's one of them places where they do your hair with a syringe. Wink, wink. They do your hair with a syringe, and whatever hair product they use when you come out of there, your face is nice and tight. When you come out of there, your face is nice and tight. I don't know what kind of hair product they use, but they apply it with a syringe, right? With a very small gauge needle. And by the time they get through rinsing and shampooing your hair, your face is as tight as a drum. Yep. Your face is as tight as a drum. So, must be some good shampoo. Let me see. Jules says, I would be scared to have her as a mother-in-law. Feel bad for her kids. She is a bit frightful. She is a bit frightful. She's mean too. I saw her yelling at the what do you call it? The Cambridge kids. Well, Will and Kate's kids. I saw her yelling at one of those kids when they were in that window. It looked like she was saying, "Just shut up." Let me see. Casey says, "Isn't it ironic that Queen Camilla consort and Kate and Sophie have zero style? I'm sure they pay a lot for those fashions too." Yeah, well, it's like the old saying, CK. They say that fashion is something you can buy, but taste is something that you either have or you don't. So there's a difference. And that's why some people can spend a lot of money, and instead of them wearing the clothes are wearing them. It's true. And of course, looks like somebody has been shopping at the Annie Oakley collection. Somebody has been shopping at Annie Oakley is us. And I could prove it too. You see there? Now, if you take a look at the famous rifle woman, Annie Oakley, and you compare that to the present day fashion, it is very avant garde, right? It is positively provincial. It is a bohemian style if I've ever seen one. Not really fit for the royal family, but anytime that your umbrella looks better than what you're wearing, it's time to go back to the drawing board. But yeah, that's that's a mess. Laverta, I have said the same thing. I have said the same thing. That poor child, I have never seen him smile before. I've never seen him smile before. Sometimes a young man can be very precocious, and when they see someone raise a camera, they just kind of seize up. I've seen so especially when they're teenagers, they just won't smile. So it could very well be that. I mean, it doesn't mean anything in particular, I think, but it is interesting though that you never catch them smiling. But I think sometimes that when you're in that type of environment, in that family, that they kind of drill that sense of duty and you just can't have fun. You can't relax and enjoy yourself. Now, those Tyndall kids, they'll walk right up and smack you on the back of the head. They don't care. But the rest of the kids, they tend to stand on ceremony. Yeah, so that is, ladies and gentlemen, Sophie Wessex and the Annie Oakley collection. It's like if she went to an award show. What are you wearing tonight? Annie Oakley. But really though, whenever I see Sophie, I think the Dust Bowl era. You know, at one time in the southwestern part of the United States, there was a huge drought. The crops were failing, and they called it the Dust Bowl. And I tell you, if I didn't know better, I would think that Sophie was a time traveler. If I didn't know better, I would think that Sophie was a time traveler. I am convinced. She may have tried to conceal it by dyeing her hair muskrat brown or blonde or whatever it is, but I insist that Sophie is a time traveler. Very famous photo. I think it's in the what is it? The Congressional Library of Congress. I think they have it stored there. That along with some of her old outfits. So, anyway, you guys, in the future, if you ever wonder why I have it in for Sophie, now you know. She's not a very nice person, and nobody, and I do mean nobody, mistreats the Duchess of Sussex without getting dragged, viciously dragged.
Bitter. And somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
Yes, very, very bitter. Now, of course, there is the lifestyle brand known as American Riviera Orchard. Now, you guys, I insist that you need to go over to, matter of fact, let me get the link and put it up top. I put it, well, it's in the community tab, but I'll get the link anyway. I insist that you need to go over to American. I mean, what am I saying? You know what I mean. But yes, that there's a great motivational video for those who are excited about the dropping of the website and everything. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know that that was a movie. Is that a movie called Love Wins Movement? Oh, you know what? The easiest way to do that is to do this. Never mind. I got it. Oh, nope. I did the same thing again. Hold on a second. All right. Now, I want to go to community. And I think it was the last thing that I posted. So let me grab the link. Okay. Got to talk myself through it. Give me a second. I got it. And there it is. That's the link right there. So it is a fun motivational video. And you guys, whenever you have those days when you are just feeling very that way because of maybe you accidentally watched Talk TV or something like that, you clicked on it and found yourself drawn in and then you regret it. You could always go over to Love Wins Movement, and there's some very positive, upbeat stuff there related to our faves. Okay, it's good for your mind. Okay, all right. There you go. So now you know. So there's a lot of spaces that you can go to when you're doing your cleaning or housework or something like that. If you're commuting and you just need a fix, now you know. Okay. And as Dr. Maya Angelou would say, when you know better, you do better. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Oh, this is epic. I love it. It's just like when you look at the video, you get inspired. You know what I mean? Chic, elegant, essentials. I'm telling you, Megan should use this as a promotional, or at least try to get in touch so that she can get one custom made for her channel. This is very professional. This is very, very professional. I love it. Okay. Now, what was I talking about? Oh, okay. It's very good. Yeah, I love it. It's super, super professional. I mean, the whole like the graphics and everything, super professional. Like one of my favorite things to do is to edit the videos because it gives you a chance to like be really creative. And so if you've ever done some video editing, when you see some good work, you can spot it a mile away. It's just like, all right, all right. And it is a lot of work. You can spend 8 hours working on just like a 5 minute, 10 minute, 20-minute video. You can spend hours doing that. Okay, let me see here. Oh, and yeah, and so some other people on the Twitter and other social media, all over social media, people who love Meghan have been having fun with the very idea of it. So you can see on the photos on the left side, look at the beautiful. I mean, who could not thrive in a space like that? I'm telling you, the Sussex household, it must be like the fortress of solitude. I mean, you could feel safe. There's light. There's beautiful gardens outside. There's that tree that they said Misa and Harriman moved to the photo. There's all that stuff. So the color palette and everything is just very relaxing, very, very uplifting. I love the Sussex office. I love that office. I mean, you got the fireplace behind you, right? They have that big desk. And I love the fact, in the old days, they had like that secretary desk where they would sit opposite and face each other. But this it's almost like a not really like a throne, but it's like the center of their power. I love that. I love that. If I ever had that kind of space, I would have a home office just like that. I mean to tell you, I would do everything to make my office look just like that. Even with the Hermes throw, everything. B. Bar Tim says the band that took down the monarchy without selling anything. Oh my goodness, B. Bar Tim, you are in a mood today, aren't you? Thank you so much for your super chat. Oh man. Yeah, I have been feeling very that way. I'm just like ready to drag. Speaking of which, as you know, the situation with those two is a bit of a mystery. Now, they said Kate was not going to be available until after Thanksgiving, after Easter rather, and I believe that they're all on vacation. And usually they would go to church. They would be ahead of that of Sophie with that horrid, ugly dress. But this year they may not go at all. Charles is supposed to do his best to be there, so there's a good possibility that he may show up. If he does, it would basically be him riding up in the state Bentley and exiting the car, walking inside of the chapel. They don't use the big entrance unless there's like a big occasion. Otherwise, they use the side door. But yeah, so you wouldn't see much of him. I don't believe they carry those ceremonies live. Possibly, but I don't think so. I don't think those ceremonies are usually live. Maybe I don't recall ever seeing them for Easter. But Kate gave the the testimonial, if you will, and the tabloids dubbed her the Kate effect, brave Kate saves lives and such. There has been various swings in the coverage, and it seems to work. Most of the laughs and jokes and everything about where is Kate has all but subsided, and that was the whole point of it. Um, Kate battles against trolls. Well, as you know, all week they were calling anybody and everybody trolls, or they accused Russia, China. Also, they accused Iran of using Kate's medical records to destabilize the British government or the nation of the United Kingdom. Still no apology from Kim Kardashian, who merely said, like tens of thousands of other people, I'm on my way to find Kate. Um, and I'm not going to go into my whole Kate thing, but I just don't want it forgotten how all of that happened. Now, there was another video that I posted on the community tab, and it was awesome. It is like, I'm going to say that for getting, if you had to explain the whole thing to people that are not familiar with the way this institution carries on, then okay, let me see here. I copied that. Okay, yes, Duchess Royal. Duchess Royal, as usual, has done a phenomenal report. Phenomenal. That's the link. It's also on the community tab. Phenomenal report. I mean, I am going to send it to someone who I tried to explain things to. I'm going to send it to them so they can get caught up, because people have a lot of questions. Matter of fact, as I'm thinking that there's two people that I need to send this to, but it gets you caught up from beginning to end of why things got so weird, why things were the way they were, how William. It really covers all of. I think it's for all of February, perhaps, but it was awesome. It was awesome. So share that one. I put it at the top of the chat. Share that with people who need to get caught up. Okay, it's perfect for that. Lizzie 34, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. But yes, 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 yes. Use it, use it, use it. Perfect tool. Duchess Royal, I think she only does like maybe one video per month. And, she puts so much into them and explains everything so thoroughly, which is why I think, like I said, it's a very valuable tool for explaining things to people who don't really know what's happening. And sometimes, you can get emotional and you're not explaining it well. Thank God somebody else can do it. So there you go. Now you know. And of course, miracles do happen, according to, I think it was Cloud Nugget, miracle on Buckingham Street. So there may be a miracle tomorrow. There may be a miracle. Walking amongst the peasants and mortals, we may actually see Catherine the Great. We may actually see her. So, yeah, we may see her. We don't know. Now, I took these comments from the comment section, and I was just like, you know what? I love it. I'm going to share it. I love it, and I'm going to share it. It says, I'm still trying to reconcile the bouncy, happy Kate at the market to this morose, sad Kate, meaning Kate who was running out of the farmer's market, nearly skipping, to Kate that was on the bench. So I'm still trying to reconcile the bouncy, happy Kate at the market to the morose, sad Kate at the market. She already knew the diagnosis and had already started treatment. It was said that she had been that that had been planned. So why such a contrasting message within days? The message they were trying to convey around the whole thing is a puzzle. Has anyone ever seen or even conceived of Kate wearing leggings and tacking them, or is it tacking? Well, tucking them in socks. Unbelievable. And for someone to be in the public space like that, of who's just a heartbeat away from becoming the next queen consort, that is rather strange. I mean, you could pop on some denims, right? Put a blazer on, turtleneck, or something like that. There's a lot of ways that you could have left the house that day. And let's say that for whatever reason, you had abdominal surgery and you're a little tender here or there. Well, surely you must have something left over from having three kids, right? So that, I mean, I'm telling you, that was brilliant. I'm just like, you know what? That said everything that needs to be said. Everything. And then, of course, the next one is I'm Australian. The royal family doesn't have the same value here as in England. I think announcing the royal tour of Australia was met with a loud silence. It dropped out of the media in a day. It would be embarrassing for Charles to have a small welcome here and probably the older generation. The Commonwealth is on the line, I think. For Elizabeth, it was like a favorite aunt. For Charles, it's that uncle that isn't quite respectable. I think Charles and Camilla would be heckled very loudly. We actually don't need a king or a queen of Australia. So for both of these comments, ding dong. Love it. That was in the comments section. If you guys, I know I don't have the possibility of seeing all of the comments, but occasionally there will be something that jumps out, and I'm just like, wow. So I do look at the comments, not all the time, but I do look at them, and I tell you, some amazing stuff there. As a matter of fact, one of the comments actually became a video some time ago. Love Wins Movement had wrote a beautifully well written commentary, and I'm just like, I feel a video coming on. So let me see, Raffaella Bertoni, thank you so much for the super stickers, and thank you so much for watching Royal Sussex. And Lizzie34, thank you for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex, and also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Greatly appreciate it. So yeah, there you go. I love this. I love this. You guys, there are some very, very, very intelligent, well-rounded people that watch Royal Sussex, and I tell you, I don't think I deserve such an affluent crowd, but I appreciate it. Let me see here. I still going with where is Kate? Christopher Bosie put out a facial recognition software proving every single image the palace release picture were all AI generated. Market Kate mom and car Kate. Yeah, they all look different. I mean, even to the naked eye, they look different. They all look different. They have given us 5 versions of the same person within a very short period of time. How does that happen? Speaking of Christopher Christopher Boozy, uh, well, you know that he has been recognized as the leader of the Sussex Squad. He has been recognized as the tabloid media have been puzzled trying to figure out who is the leader of the Sussex Squad. Now, for 5 minutes, I was the leader, according to Thomas Markle Jr. Let me see. The new microphone really delivers that deep royal Sussex. Love it, Baron. I smile every time. Thank you so much, Love Wins Movement. And thank you all so much for helping me get this microphone. I told you all there was a problem before, and a couple of y'all said, "Oh, I can hear you just fine." But to me, it sounded awful. So I'm just glad to have replaced it. I was getting self-conscious about it. So now when I say Royal Sussex, it has more, reverberation. You know what I mean? It's just so deep and silky and sexy. So anyway, that is the unofficial leader, according to the tabloids, the unofficial leader of the Sussex Squad. Well, I looked today, and it looks like they were right. As a matter of fact, he's even got an army. He's even got an army. I think I see Church Nelly back there. No, on the right. Right. Now look for the flask. Yes. It's a no, I'm sorry, it's not the flask today. It's a big jug. It's got 3 X's on it. That's Church Nelly. You got to squint your eyes, but she's back there. Listen, she's back there. Look for the one where it looked like a couple of people have her arms over their shoulders and they're trying to help her along. That's Church Nelly. Yeah. On the right, maybe about 10 rows back. Yeah, 10 rows back on the right. That's Church Nelly. Yeah, you see her? It's the one that looked like they didn't get home from Friday night. That's Church Nelly. Right, right. Okay. So anyway, anyway, the apparently there's been a what do you call it? A promotion. So now, dear leader, it has even more medals and even has an army. So I think we're quite safe. I think we're quite safe. But no, seriously, you guys, Chris Rabuzzi has been calling those people out. And the last person that has been called out, because there are so many receipts. I have receipts. Other people have receipts. People all over the Twitter and stuff. We keep receipts. So when they try to convince us that they have had a change of heart or they didn't say that or something is different. Oh, where's Ivy? Ivy is somewhere. You see that first flag on the left side? That first flag, it looks like a double flag. That's Ivy, the standard bearer for the Sussex Squad. That's Ivy. So yeah, I'm telling you, they're all there. They're all there. And me, I'm that very handsome one that you see on the right side there. See the one closest to you on the right with the very muscle like chest and everything, that's me. Yeah, that's me. Very fit and active and got that swimmer's build, and you know what I'm saying? That's me in my dreams. Oh man. So Maureen, Richard by day, Maureen by night. Maureen is always doing the most. Now take a look here. Imagine a journalist from the New York Times or the Washington Post publicly receiving gifts from the brother of a soon to be queen consort and then writing an article demanding Meghan Markle beg the future queen consort for forgiveness. The UK is wild. No wonder Harry and Meghan left. No wonder they left. This explains everything. If they're, like I said, there's some people who don't get it, they don't understand it, they don't know why there's a Sussex squad, you know. And if you listen to the tabloids, they would have you believe that it's just a group of hateful people that have nothing better to do than to go after the monarchy because we're, as a matter of fact, why are we supposed to be angry with them, right? I mean, aside from the only person of African descent, confirmed person of African descent to marry into that family, was driven out by a bunch of co-conspirators. Um, Aside from that, I don't know. But they seem to think that every day we wake up, oh, we're going to get them. We're going to get them. Nothing could be further from the truth. There are some people that are monarchists who just want the monarchy to be a better place, to be better people, to do good without hurting people and without using taxpayers' money. That's their belief that everybody's after them. Lizzie says, this is the only channel I watch. I can't do any others because my anxiety is horrible. And when I don't see anything from you, I start talking YouTube, waiting and worrying. Oh no. Best of the best. Oh, Lizzie, thank you so much for that. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And you know, I appreciate hearing that because the one thing that I want to avoid is making people anxious, you know, making things worse and telling you all kind of horrible things and then be like, okay, see you next time. That is never my intention. The Sussexes are winning, and we just need to believe. It takes a lot of faith to get through these types of things, but I really appreciate hearing that, and it lets me know that I'm on the right track. And I'll continue to do my best to make this a safe space where you don't have to feel anxious and uptight, or you know, and go to bed feeling bad about the world and that kind of thing. Because in spite of everything that's going on, I still believe the world is a great place. And when people tell me the next generation, oh, they won't be able to do this or that, I believe in the next generation. And one of the reasons why is because of the TikTokers, because the way that they understand when things are not right, and they get motivated. They have a community where they push back against the establishment. And that's why they want to get rid of TikTok, because they don't want those kids to have a voice. I'm not afraid for the young people. They're going to do great things. They already are. They're going to do great things. So thank you so much, Lizzie. And thank you for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. Lex says the royal family and the British, I'm sorry, the royal Rhoda and the British royal family love to employ Darvo tactics. Pathetic. Uh-oh, Darvo. Distract something. Wait. Let me look it up. I should know this. Let me look it up. Okay, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. Okay, deny, attack, and reverse, victim. Okay, be a reverse victim and offender. So, of course, let me see, it says here is a tactic a person may use to deflect responsibility onto an individual they have abused. It is a form of manipulation. I'm sorry, yeah, of manipulation a person may use to discredit a survivor's experience. To discredit a survivor's experience. Meaning, of course, Meghan, to a greater extent, and a lesser extent, Harry. Meghan always gets the worst of it, which is why the hate campaign is full of misogyny. It is fueled by misogyny, racism, and misogyny. Thank you, Legs. All right. Very, very important. And we got to remember that, you guys, is called Darvo. Remember that, Darvo. Let me put that in the comment. Let me see, will that fit? Will that fit? I think we always take things in better when we read it for ourselves. So, the whole thing won't fit. Okay, let me take that away. So there's part of it. And then the rest of it. Okay. That is brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Uh-oh, did I do it again? Oh, did that fit? Oh, well, it did not. But anyway, you know what it is. You got me. You're picking up what I'm putting down, and I'll just put the rest anyway. There you go. Uh-huh. Right. Good idea, Lorna Williams. Good idea. I have to work on that. B. Martim says they want those apologies real bad. B. Martim, they want apologies. It's as though they want people to come and kiss their feet. I know it's Easter, but we're not washing and kissing people's feet. They want apologies from Americans that have said anything, that have even mentioned Kate Middleton. They are trying to convince everyone that they have maligned her in some type of way, and that is simply not the case. Stephen Colbert did not say anything disrespectful or bad. He said what was the current pop culture. It was a pop culture event. It was a pop culture event. And the reason why it happened is because for 80 days, more or less, a princess of the realm disappeared. And we were getting these very bizarre videos and photos as though they wanted us to go deeper into the rabbit hole. I mean, was this all deliberately done so that we would stop thinking about Thomas Kingston? Was that the point? Because whenever they roll out something, it's always something much bigger and much greater that they don't want us to pay attention to. And remember, I've shared this several times. where 5 of the most prominent Royal Rota people said that William, uh, what do you call it, calling off from the memorial service had nothing to do with Thomas Kingston. As though someone told all of them that day, listen, we need you all to talk about this because I think the public may get the wrong idea. But with them, it may be the opposite. Maybe they want us to think about Thomas Kingston so that whatever else they're trying to hide, the big elephant in the room, can walk past us while our backs are turned. They could walk the elephant past us and we won't know the difference. I mean, it's hard to know. They have pulled the okey doke on several occasions ever since January 17th. Ever since January 17th, it has been one weird thing after the other. And in every situation, people say, that's interesting. They don't usually do that. That's interesting. I don't remember anything else like this. And they want to blame people for being pulled into this mess that they created. Sorry, but not sorry. These are public people. They wanted Americans to notice them. Well, we're looking, and we didn't stop with Will and Kate. We're also looking at Rose Hanbury. We're also looking at David Rock Savage. We're looking at Thomas Kingston. We're looking at everybody. You wanted us to notice, we noticed. So whatever did or did not happen, if you didn't want us to notice, then get a better communication team. What could I say? Don't issue photos that look like a Frankenstein movie. Right? I mean, the photo was like a quilt of body parts. And I guess I'm telling you, when they made that TMZ video, that's when all hell broke loose. That's when all hell broke loose. TMZ, oh no, we gotta do something about this. Get out there. Still strange, very strange. And all of these things have played out in the plain light of day, or the plain light of AI. In the glare of AI, all of this has played out. Not my fault. None of us are responsible for that. But yes, B. Martin, you're so right. They want those apologies. They want to collect them like they're collecting seashells. They want to collect those apologies like Cabbage Patch dolls, like a Barbie collection. They need those apologies. They want to line them up, put them on the shelf, and get everybody on the record for apologizing. Because if they can get those apologies, to me, it seems like it helps to make their case more credible. But without those apologies, it seems like it's not credible enough. Exactly, Mary H. Exactly, because they know it's not just Sussex friendly people talking about this, but they are trying to use the Sussex squad as scapegoats. They doxed that kid last week. And then they decided to poke the bear. They went after Russia and China and Iran. That's when it really got strange for me. Really? It almost makes you think that there's no medical records to look at. That's what it is. It makes you think that there's no medical records, or that the records are someplace else. Even George Calloway was like, show us, prove it. Where is she? I mean, this snowballed. It got huge. It got huge. Very strange. Very, very strange. So imagine this journalist, as Christopher Boozy said, receiving a gift like this. In America, in the US, it would be very unusual for any of those legacy newspapers to accept gifts like this. Very unusual. This is an advertisement. It's an advertisement. Richard Eden, the very telling reason why Harry and Meghan should now seek forgiveness from Kate. And yet, right here, you have Richard Eden posing in front of dog food. Eden Confidential. Thank you to James Middleton for the goodies you sent to Windsor for our new puppy. It was very thoughtful of you. Windsor's been with us for a week and is setting in well. He loves the kibbles plus raw turkey and James and Ella. Best wishes to the Middleton family during this difficult time. Hashtag Richard Eden, Eden Confidential, Kavapoo Puppy, Kavapoo of Instagram, James Middleton, gifted. Well, that's a mouthful. And he's just smiling, just as pleased with himself to accept a gift like that. From the brother of the future queen consort. Hey, Susie Q. The Sussexes must acknowledge the hurt they have caused and the damage done. Why Harry and Meghan should be begging Kate for forgiveness. Beg Kate for forgiveness. Yet another apology to collect. They need to collect more apologies. They need everyone to bow at the altar of Catherine the Great. Not if the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Never. TB to be It's a Beautiful Life says, we demand an apology from royal family and British media. How about that? And by the way, 6 months membership. How about that? 6 months membership. Thank you, TB. 6 months membership. And by the way, if you're on Patreon, excuse me, your memberships will not appear in the live chat. So another great reason to move your gift to Royal Sussex from the Patreon over to YouTube. Think about it. Think about it. Thank you so much, TB. The Sussexes must acknowledge the hurt. Okay, that's the same thing. The damage done. They should then apologize and beg for forgiveness from Catherine and her husband, who deserve nothing less. Richard Eden. Maureen. Richard, Maureen, whichever name you prefer. Come on now.
Hey, girl, sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Sit down, girl. Sit down. Maureen, Richard by day, Maureen by night. Sit down. Take several seats. Take several seats.
Hey, girl, sit down.
Yeah, you.
Down.
Uh-huh. You girl.
Sit down.
That is the best advice that anyone could give the alter ego or the main staple of that unflattering carcass that Richard Eden walks around in. Um, just sit down. Good advice. Sit down. Revealed Prince Harry and Meghan's secret meeting with Spider Man star Tom Holland and Zendaya as film takes 1.27 billion at box office worldwide. It's unclear why Harry and Meghan were keen to meet Holland and Zendaya, but they may have hoped to persuade them to take part in one of their media projects. Operative word, they may have. They may have. May. May have. Well, the thing is, at the time, a lot of the people in the media was chopping at the bits rather, to make believe that Harry was so fascinated with Tom Holland and Zendaya, and that Meghan was so. It's like, what could they possibly have in common? Well, let me see. British kid meets biracial American girl. British kid falls in love with biracial American girl. British kid and biracial American girl are like the hottest thing in Hollywood. Biracial girl known for her beautiful fashions, her impeccable taste, and yet being true to herself, all at the same time. And of course, there is the charismatic British guy that everybody just seems to love for no reason whatsoever except the weight of personality, talent, whatever you want to call it. But that couldn't be it. No. It has to be Harry and Meghan plotting and scheming, right? Plotting and scheming. The truth is, Harry was photographed right here with Tom Holland back in 2018. Don't know whether Meghan and Harry met certain actors, celebs in California last year, but one thing for sure is he has met Tom Holland before. And Richard Eden is obsessed, creepy liar. Holland met royals at Audi Polo Challenge back in June 30th, 2018 at was it Coworth? Yeah. That wasn't a first time meeting for them. That someone that has gone to school to become a journalist with all the things going on in this world spends their time and their good education gossiping about people, not to mention the royals and whomever, and accepting dog food and accepting dog food from the future queen consort's brother. Make that make sense. I mean, there you go. 2018, Ascot, England. They've met before. And of course, there's that thing on the, let's get out of here. 18th March 2022, royal commentator Mr. Eden wrote, Prince Harry and Meghan do have some deeply unpleasant fans. It might be time for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to condemn them. He said that back in March of 2022. He said that back in March of 2022, obsessed with the fact that there are people who love Harry and Meghan enough to call him out for being so short-sighted and manipulative. And right here, Mystery of of Duchess of Cambridge, alleged rural rivalry with the Marquis of Cholmondeley, former model wife Rose Hanbury. Now, he was one of the people that was gossiping about Rose back in the day. You see there? That was 2019. March 16th. March must be the month when he just thinks of wild things, or he gets the courage to tell the truth about stuff that's in plain sight. So the alleged affair was something that they all talked about. Why did they suddenly stop talking about it? Let me see. Oh, yeah, I forgot. They threw the Sussexes at the tabloids and said, have your way with them. Just leave us alone. That's why people like Richard Eden stopped talking about this stuff. Benjamin Ryan, health and science reporter, contributor, New York Times, NBC News, Guardian, New York Sun, never heard of that one, Washington Post, The Atlantic, cancer survivor, Columbia grad, and dare I say, a truth teller. Dare I say a truth teller? If you've never seen him before, he said something that we all believe and understand to be true. He said back in 2022, hating Meghan Markle is a billion-dollar industry. It will never stop. Too many people make a living off of it. Well, I went to his Twitter, and it was still there today. Hating Meghan Markle is a billion-dollar industry, and it will never stop. Too many people making a living off of it. It's never going to stop. There's too much money involved. But there is the Sussex Squad. And there are countless other people that, thanks to this massive communication failure at Kensington Palace, there are countless other people that have been made aware of what's been going on ever since it was found out that Harry was dating Meghan. And it just continued from there. And then they started making a lot of money. But that's why we call them out. That is why we call them out. Because they have nothing, they have no reason to stop. They have the consent of Kensington Palace. They have the consent of Clarence House, Buckingham Palace. That is the reason why they continue unabated. They have no reason to stop. They're encouraged. They're encouraged. And even when people wrote the nastiest things on the royal Twitter pages, when they wrote the nastiest things on Instagram, they just leave it. They wouldn't even remove it. They wouldn't block those people. Most of those nasty comments stay. And you could go to those Twitter and Instagram accounts and find some of the most awful things. But this guy told the truth. So my point is, there's hope. There is always hope. And as long as good people are doing the right thing and calling them out, then they will never win. Just because they won't stop doesn't mean that they win. Okay? And with that, you guys, I still got a couple more things. I love this right here. I met Meghan and Harry 2 years ago with Kerry Kennedy. Meghan shared a framework for change that I practice. We can change in bit-sized pieces, anywhere on any day. Meghan talked about spreading kindness through baby steps. How about that? So this Karen D. Russell is the daughter of oh God, what was his name? Bill Russell, the basketball player. Her name is Carrie. Karen. Why do I see Carrie Kennedy? Karen Russell. So very, very nice that she shared that. And it was just on her Twitter, just out of the blue. She tweeted that. So that was very kind of her. And of course, you should know that right now, in some basement of the mama's house, in some basement or some back room off the kitchen, there's some loser. There's some loser out there that is still waiting for Meghan to be exposed. Yep, there's some loser that is out there hoping that the world will finally see Meghan for who they believe her to be and not exactly who she is. My answer is keep waiting. That's all I have to say is keep waiting. Meghan is exactly what she appears to be. Nothing more, nothing less. Just an extraordinary person who has done some incredible things. And so keep waiting until you turn into dust. Cloud Nuggets done it again. Cloud Nugget has done it again. You know, I was getting that type of overblown self importance, very arrogant, nearly sociopathic energy from Willie Leaks. And I kept thinking, who does she remind me of? Who does she remind me of? And I don't know if Cloud Nugget was reading my mind or what, but now I know. Now I know. Same energy. Same energy. Got everybody believing that there's something that they're not or someone that they're not. Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes turns herself in for 11-year prison. Well, that's not going to happen, but the 39-year-old, they're about the same age, aren't they? The 39-year-old tech founder walked into a minimum security federal women's prison camp located in, Bryan, Texas on Tuesday. Well, nothing like that is going to happen to Willie Leaks, but I promise you, I'm getting that same androgynous feminine energy. I'm getting that very same androgynous feminine energy where you just, you know what I'm saying, where they have crossed the natural barriers of gender. Gender is not a thing. It's very fluid, and yeah, that's what I'm getting. But you know what? That hair actually suits them. They right. I think that hair suits them. They. Oh man. And finally, you guys, finally, I didn't have proper slides prepared because while I was, what do you call it? When I was trying to prep, I kept forgetting to add the slides. But there you go. Rest in power, Lou Gossett Jr. May the 27th, 1936, March the 28th, 2024. Wow. What a life. What an amazing life. 87 years old. And there's Lou Gossett when he won the Best Supporting Actor. Was it 1987 or 82? I think it was 1982 for The Officer and the Gentleman. One of the best movies ever. Although I have to tell you, if you watch it with some little ones, there is one particular scene in the bedroom that is embarrassing. And I hate they put that in the movie. It's so embarrassing. I mean, it's just like you tell, oh, come on and watch this movie. It's a great movie. And then all of a sudden, there's a bunch of thrashing and moaning, unnecessary addition to the movie. But by and large, the movie was great. And remember yesterday when I said there was that scene when he said, "I'm talking to you, MF." That's what Richard Gere said. And Lou Gossett turned around. He say, "What did you call me?" See the way his corner of his mouth is turned down? He was hot. Don't you ever talk to me like that. Oh boy, when and the thing is he was walking away and he turned around and started walking toward Richard Gere and it was just like I was so afraid for him. And I kept saying, "I know this is a movie. Please don't hit that child." Please don't hit him. This is just a movie. Remember, you're in character. You're a character. But yeah, that was amazing. Yep, that was amazing. What did you call me? Oh man, so that was Richard Gere. I'm sorry, that was Lugasa Jr. And of course, this scene, at the end of the movie, very very powerful. Yes, mayonnaise. Listen, mayonnaise. Um, how about when he walked into the when he goes, in every class, there's always some joker that thinks he's smarter than me. In this class, that happens to be you, isn't it, mayonnaise? And then all of those things that he was selling dropped out of the ceiling. And he was like, "Fellas, let us have this room." And he said, "I want your DOR." "No, sir." "What?" "I want your DOR." "No, sir." "Oh, okay. Well, get into your fatigues. And after I'm done with you, you'll give me your DOR. I mean, I haven't seen that movie in about 30 years, and I still remember that part. I haven't watched it. I'm embarrassed to say I haven't watched it in about 30 years, but I still remember that. Oh man, that was I gotta watch it now. I gotta watch it. I just have to watch it. Yep. Great movie. Great movie. He also DOR. I want your DOR. DOR. What is that? Drop on request? I think that's what it was when you want to drop out on request and, from the officers training program. Let me see. Okay, you guys, I'm done. Good night. Good night. Good night. Don't stay up. I'm done. If you got to get up early tomorrow, I'm going down to that building where I always see them people going on Sunday. Um, it is called. I think it's. I think it's Catholic. It's called the Beth Shalom. Yes, it's the Beth Shalom Catholic Church. I'm sure it is. I'm going to go down there tomorrow. And every time I walk past, the people are so nice. When I walk past, they're like, "Laheim, Laheim." I think that means bless you or something like that. So I'm gonna go down there. Good night, Lizzie 34. Thank you so much for being here. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to find that thing that I was telling you about yesterday. Let me see if I could find it before I say what it is. Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it. I guess you would have to. Maybe I'm like the only person that noticed that. But in the Officer and the Gentleman movie, there was some lady in red kicking up her heels at that dance that they had, and she was dancing like a lunatic in the background. I mean, the whole background of the movie. Let me see. If I could take a screenshot of it, I'll do that. Oh, there's an officer and a gentleman, the musical? I did not know that. That makes sense, though. I'm coming home, I've done my time, and I got to see what is and isn't mine. And if I don't see a ribbon round that old oak tree, I just get off the bus, forget about us, put the blame on me. Just tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. Well, tie a yellow ribbon round the old oak tree. Tony, Orlando, and Don, right? That was Tony, Orlando, and Don. Oh my God. I see that scene where he said, oh no, this is what, no, that wasn't the scene. I tell you, I got some fond memories of that movie. Let me see if I can see that dance. Wait, is this it? Oh no, that's just like nah, it's not there. Oh my God, that was a great movie. That was a great movie. Ah, I see her. I see her. Oh man, I won't be able to share it with you. It goes by so fast, but if I can make it happen, I will. I'll try to do something else. Ooh, I see someone was on the same page I was on. Let's see. Black Queen says, Baron Susie Q says SNL is making fun of Katie. Oh, thank you so much. I cannot wait to see that. Thank you. I was hoping that was going to happen. I was hoping that was going to happen. I am here for it. I love it already. Thank you very much. Hey, Black Queen. Everybody's talking about the Beyonce album. I haven't heard any of the songs yet, but I'm interested in hearing Jolene. Thank you, Serengeti. Thank you so much for that. Oh, ciao, Raffaella Bertoni. Let me see here. Okay, so you guys have some homework to do. Please go to the community tab. There is a video from Love Wins Movement, and there is a video there from the Royal Duchess. Make sure you check those out. And yeah, that's it. That's it. No other homework for today. Oh, Duchess of Success was on this morning. I almost forgot about that. I actually got to go back and watch it because I put it on and then I fell back to sleep again. But Duchess of Success was on. So if you guys are missing Anne, she does have a video that she posted. Well, she did a live this morning or last night for you all or whatever it is. But yes, that's available. All right, so there you go. Ooh, that's Deborah Winger. Good God, what happened to her? Oh, I know what happened. Holding back the years, thinking of the fear I had so long. Yeah, when you don't have the energy to hold back those years, them years are going to march all over you. That's what happened to her. That was probably one of the most, I guess, shady things I ever did. One of my best friends, I think she had turned. Let me see, how old was she? I think she had turned 30, and she was already feeling kind of bad because she was getting older, and we were the same age, and I called her the first thing in the morning. I started singing, "Holding back the years." Thinking of the fear I had so long. Yeah. What are friends for? That's what friends are for. Friends are the ones that tell you that you're getting older even when you don't want to think about it. Yes, Simply Red. I love Simply Red. I remember that song, Saddle Red, living on his own. I love that song, Saddle Red. It had that boom, 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 boom. Saddle Red, living on his own. Yes, time don't stand still. Time doesn't stand still. But time won't give me time, says Boy George, Culture Club. I love their first two albums. Culture Club, I love their first two albums. They were amazing. They had a little jazz, they had a little R&B, a little Afro Latin beat to it. Oh, they were phenomenal. I wouldn't dare want to hear them sing it in person because you know how that is. Sometimes when you go see people live, that unless you're really into them as people and you want to support them, ooh, ooh. Yes, I saw that when she was begging her to sing Jolene. Yes, that was I like Dolly Parton. I mean, Dolly Parton is just, and especially remember somebody in the palace had invited Dolly Parton for tea, and she was like being really shady. She's like, well, I would have loved to have had tea, but the thing is, I work. I came here to work. And maybe if I was on vacation and I had time to sit around, I'm paraphrasing, then of course I would probably have some tea next time, but right now I'm working. And the thing is, just like I was saying about that other situation, nobody asked Dolly Parton to say that. Dolly Parton was just like, well, I got invited for tea and I didn't go because, well, I'm here to work. So I can't say for sure that Dolly was throwing shade, but I won't pretend like I don't like the idea that she may have been throwing some shade. How's that? And with that, you all, thank you so much for joining us here on Royal Sussex. And happy Easter in advance to those who are waiting for midnight and for those who are already celebrating Easter. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. But you know what, B. Martin? A lot of those very wealthy, artsy type people, they have their own little kingdom. They have money and power, and they can. Um, I was actually looking at this thing about Liberace, and someone who was close to Liberace before he died, he said everyone around him was on the payroll, and nobody said no to him. And this guy was a struggling musician himself. And he said that Liberace was trying to put him in the show and put him on the payroll. And he turned him down. He said, because, we have a good friendship and I don't want to ruin that with business. And I guess this guy came from like a small town, maybe in the Midwest or something like that. But he had enough common sense that he understood that once you go on the payroll, then you can never be friends with those people. So he turned them down so that he could live in this very nice Palm Spring cottage on Liberace's estate, and even paid rent to avoid the pitfalls of being somebody's flunky. And I would hope more people would instill that type of knowledge into their children to make the right choices in life. So, whoever raised him had done him a solid with that one. All that glitters is not gold. And some of those entertainers are monsters. They are monsters. And there's a few that I know and love, from afar, that I probably would never want to meet because I don't ever want to see them in a different light. As much as I loved Aretha Franklin, I never wanted to meet her. I thought she might be a little different. I thought she might be a bit, different. And I didn't want to see that side of her. I didn't even want to take that chance. Some people are better to love from afar. Better to love from afar than to have not loved at all. Are you talking about Edward? Are you talking about the Duke of Edinburgh? Who has beautiful gowns? I mean, I saw that nice maxi coat, but I don't remember a gown. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And even before that, I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Really? Okay. Okay. All right. Interesting. But I tell you, those Aretha and those spaghetti straps is the stuff of nightmares. If I ever woke up in a cold sweat from a nightmare and somebody said, "What happened?" Well, I was watching an Aretha Franklin concert and that little spaghetti strap broke, and then a tidal wave of bosoms flew toward me. Ah! Oh, man. I saw Aretha in concert, and my God, she was so good. And I was nervous because, she was struggling sometimes, but I did see her, and it was wonderful. I knew all the songs, and I saw the people around me. They were like enjoying the concert, but she sang songs from Sparkle. She sang some of the old songs from when she used to, be a jazz artist. I'm telling you, I know so many Aretha Franklin songs, songs that were turntable hits. They never made it big commercially, but they were great songs from her Columbia years. And I mean, I used to listen to those songs all the time. Great songs. And it's a shame that so many people um, will never know those songs. But she kind of did what so many artists would have done at that time, because Aretha, they didn't know what to do with her, because we had R&B, but we didn't have soul. Soul music wasn't exactly a thing at that point. And so, and of course, remember, I don't know if for some of you people that are listening right now, you're not from the U.S. and maybe you're not even of African descent. They used to call it race music. Some places they used to call black music race music, which is stupid. Well, that was one of the descriptions, the names that they used for the early, R&B soul artists coming out of the 50s into the 60s. They referred to it as race music. And I'm just like, what does race have to do with it? I mean, yes, that is the reason why it's so good, is because it comes out of that gospel, jazz, blues, African experience, but still, race music? Really? But yeah, they used to call it race music. Many say that I'm too young to let you know just where I'm coming from. I love that song. I love that song. Don't get me started, B. Martim. Don't get me started. You know I love that song. But do you feel it's just a matter of time? My love will surely make you mine. Well, I'm living in a world of ghetto life. Everyone around is so uptight. Oh, that was a good song. Okay, let me stop. I'm drifting miles away from here. 2 hours is enough. We fixing to get out of here. You call me, you need my heart's on fire. Speak the language of love. I love that song. I love that song. Oh, let me see here. You all are taking me all the way back down memory lane. Giving him something he can feel to let you know this love is real. Well, I'm giving him something he can feel. Okay, let me see here. As a matter of fact, did she sing that at the concert? Oh my God, she was so good though. I was lucky to see Aretha in concert. I know that. And I don't go to a lot of concerts. And that may have been the only concert I'd ever gone to by myself. I believe that was the only concert I've gone to by myself. And she was so good. Oh, she was so good. It was a beautiful, beautiful show. And I'm grateful that I had a chance to see her. That was the first and only time. I don't know if I've ever told this story before, but I know I mentioned that I had the Andy Warhol poster, the Andy Warhol Aretha Franklin poster, the one from the album of Aretha that featured the song Jimmy Lee, I think. And I wanted that poster. desperately wanted that poster, and I could not find it. And this was back in the 80s, I think. And so I went to every poster shop looking for that poster. And then I said, I got to let this go. I'm going to go to just one more shop. And so I walked in. I said, do you have the Aretha Franklin poster, the one from the album cover, the Andy Warhol? And he said, yes. No, I'm talking about the one from the, he said, yes. Okay, listen, it's the one from, and I just couldn't believe that they had it. And it's an original print from the record company. It's an original print. And like right now, I think they're on eBay. The last time I looked, it was about $300-400, something like that. So I bought it. And of course, I waited a long time to get it professionally framed, but I did buy it. The guy said it was $36, and I froze because that was a lot of money at that time to me. And I said, $36? I said, is it framed? He said, no. But you know what happened earlier that day? I was at a street fair and I found $20 on the ground. I found $20 on the ground that day. And because I found that $20, I was able to buy that $36 poster, no problem. And I still have that poster today. So that is my Aretha Franklin poster story. Let me see if I could show you the picture of it. Let me see. Yep, the Queen of Soul. Nobody else like her. Well, this isn't the actual poster. This is the album cover. I couldn't find a poster easily, but there's the album cover, Aretha. That's the Andy Warhol. It was I think they called it a silk print or whatever. But yeah, that's the one. That was when Aretha feathered that hair. Aretha, Boy George, who else? Princess Diana. Nobody feathered their hair better than Princess Diana. Aretha had a nice feather. Even Oprah back in the 80s had that feather. But they would feather that hair, but the queen of the feathered hair, Princess Diana. Yep, the queen of the feathered hair. Anyway, while we're on the topic of Princess Diana, and of course, the other queen, the rock of the Sussex family, it is time to say goodnight. Avida Zane, Arrivederci. Thank you all so much for being here. Yeah, I really do appreciate it. Oh, yeah, she had that bus. I remember that. Mm-hmm. Yep, I love that. Knew you were waiting. Knew. I like when she had to take Boy George to school. Boy George was doing good now. He was holding his own. But Aretha had to go and hit one of them notes that she just pulled out of nowhere. Knew you were waiting. Knew. I got goosebumps every time I heard her do that. Knew you were waiting for me. Yep, Aretha had to take people to school. I mean, there were times when she'd be performing with somebody and they just like started getting a little bit too big for their britches, and she'd find one of those primal notes, something from the motherland, to remind them there's only one queen. There's only one queen. Yeah, George Michael's. Oh man, George Michael's. He was good. He was really good. That's too bad that he died so young. Oh, nice, nice. My first concert ever was the Jackson 5. That was my first concert ever, was the Jackson 5. And I still remembered how surreal it was to see them on the stage performing. That was my first concert. Or was it? Let me think about that. Was that my first concert? Oh man, I think so. Good night, sister. Okay, well, let us end with our. As a matter of fact, I think it's been a while since we've had Once Upon a Time. So, how about that one? Once Upon a Time.